Welcome back, guys, to the show. Today is Health Wednesday. We're talking about mental health. And if you're just tuning in, you're not late because we were talking about some of the mental health disorders. And before we get to how do you deal with grief, we're going to talk about causes of mental health disorder with my lovely guest here, Salma, a community health worker. Yeah, so let's proceed from where we left.
Okay. Mental health is a complex issue with common causes that are indicators or contribute to risk factors. One of it being a genetic factor. By genetic factor, those are like traits
Yes.
from background. And there is also discrimination. There is also, in that discrimination, there is also stigmatization and racism. And there is now the grief and the trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. Neglect, childhood, and violence. Environmental exposures, inflammatory conditions, and there is, did I say violence?
You said trauma.
Yeah, and violence. Yeah.
Okay, it's a question. Is suicide also part of a mental health disorder?
Not really. Suicide is a thought.
It's a thought.
It's a thought.
But it is caused by like depression, something.
Yeah, it is caused by depression, by all those disorders.
Yes.
Now, when you have all those disorders, or maybe one, when it presses you so much, now you start thinking of a way to run away from those thoughts. And the easy way out that some people tend to do, we don't say they committed suicide. We say that suicidal came into their mind.
Yeah. Okay.
That thought.
Okay, and next is we're talking about how do you deal with grief. You realize that most people will be like, I know how you feel. I feel your pain, but in reality, I don't think that's really fair because how I related to someone, it's not exactly how you relate to someone.
Sure.
And just like, oh, it's okay, you're gonna be fine. I don't think that's really the appropriate word to tell the person who is grieving at the moment. So what do you think, what are the steps, or what should we do what should I do when I'm grieving? Maybe because I lost a parent, or maybe I terminated my relationship with this spouse or my boyfriend or girlfriend.
First of all, you have to like ask yourself. You first of all sit down and you convince yourself and say that yes, it's okay. I am feeling it, and it is very okay not to be okay.
Yeah,
a
because
lot of
we're
people
humans.
don't know it's okay not to be okay. You accept those thoughts, then you digest it, then you stay active. You make sure you are active, you are not idle, so that you don't feel the need of all those tormenting thoughts. Then you exercise. You can do exercises. You can join a yoga team or a gym. You can also listen to music. Yeah, you know, the inspirational music.
Crying is also allowed.
Yeah, you can also cry. Yeah,
Yes.
as much as you want.
Yes.
You can cry as much as you want, but don't keep on crying every now and then. Cry, then go outside, do another thing. But every time you feel like it's coming back and you want to cry, just cry. But don't spend the entire day crying it out. You can also watch a movie and take a nap. Yeah, and talk to someone, someone that you trust. Yeah.
Okay, as a community health worker, do you think that someone, especially if you've undergone through a grief, you can like say, I've healed completely? Is there a chance someone can say, or, okay, you've healed, but there's still the thoughts, the flashbacks, especially when something similar comes like across you? Is there a word like, I've healed completely?
Okay, when it comes to mental health, because loss is a cause to mental health, mental illness that is, you don't heal completely, but you treat it.
Yes.
There are medicines that you can treat with it. There are things that you can do. You can join the you can join groups, supportive groups that will encourage you daily. Like personally, from my experience, I lost a mom around 5 years ago, and I cannot say that I have completely healed because it keeps on coming back, especially every time you remember that person was doing something and now you don't have that a person who is doing the same. Sometimes I even break down and cry. So you don't heal completely, but you can treat it and it's manageable.
And what is the importance of mental health? How is it effective to our daily lives?
Mental health is important, first of all, because when you have a good mental health, you become more productive and effective, even in your work and your daily activities. Another thing is that when you are well in your mental health, you become stress-free, you enjoy environment, you enjoy being with friends, because when you have mental illness, you don't get along with everyone. You always have those moods. You don't like that particular person because of no reason at all, because of the mental illness. And another thing is that when your mental is in the right place, when you are okay, it's even your physical healthness is fit, because you keep away from illnesses such as diabetes, stroke, heart diseases such as heart attack and all those things. And another addition to when you have good mental health, it is because when you have good mental health, you are able to be active, learn new things, go out, explore more.
And let's talk about isolation. There are some people who prefer being isolated, especially when they're going through grief, and some will, and especially a community health worker like you, be like, it can be scary because you don't know this person next move. They can either decide to commit suicide or, I don't know, maybe harm themselves. So what's your take on that?
Okay. Isolation. Isolation, maybe let's say when you're grieving, or maybe when you're going through a disorder that is you think is so difficult for you to overcome with time. Isolation is not the perfect choice, but in the beginning you tend to isolate yourself. But as you, like I said, when you move out and find these supportive groups and you interact with people, you'll associate, and the thoughts of suicide will not be in your brains or will not haunt you. Because like for instance, right now, suicidal. Do you know the youngest person who committed suicide in the entire world was just a 9-year-old kid? You can imagine. And the oldest was 76. And also, we should also find solutions to why people are committing suicide. Like I deal with mostly youths. They say it's lack of employment, being idle, all those things. If maybe we find a solution, like we create jobs for them, or maybe they become more innovative and they realize what their abilities can do to them, and they start creating employment for themselves, maybe the isolation and the suicidal thoughts would not exist, and the world would be a better place.
You've mentioned something that the youngest person who committed suicide was a 7-year-old.
9-year-old.
Oh, sorry, a 9-year-old. And in our society today, a 9-year-old preferably, that's like parents are like, that's not the right age. Like how would you be affected like mentally? And most people ignore, most of parents, like you wouldn't even think like a 9-year-old could commit suicide. So what maybe was some of the things that would have resulted to that act as a kid?
Maybe like parents of today. I'm also a mom, a young mom. to a 9-year-old, maybe what parents fail to understand, right now our children are demanding, not like in our times. In our times, we never had to have everything. We only had the things we needed.
Yeah.
But right now, you find a child wants your attention, like every now and then. They want that attention. There is the mood swings.
Yeah.
And there is also the anxiety, the fear of unknown. So if parents would know what they are, and also find out what, you see, like right now, we are more in a technology world.
Yes.
You find yourself like you bought a phone or a laptop for your little one, but you don't even investigate.
You think that's enough for your child?
Yeah, because you don't want that kid to disturb you.
Yes.
When you give them the phone or the laptop,
definitely
they won't disturb you.
Yeah.
You'll work peacefully,
Yeah.
but you don't even want to know what they are watching
Yes.
in those videos or in those YouTube channels that they have.
Yes.
That could be a contributing factor of parents not having more time with their kids. Like I say, there is not enough time with your kids. You can go home, spend like 30 minutes with your child, and that is all they wanted. You can't spend the entire day with your kid, and they won't feel the impact. So it's up to you to know what your kid needs and how to give it to them, because most of the kids nowadays, like I said, they are demanding so much, and we tend to give them what they want, not what they need. But in our times, we were given what we needed,
not
what we wanted. So if parents could have more time, love and affection, like you find the teenagers, when you go out there, the presence of the dad is also very important.
Yes.
Like you find a single mom is raising a son alone.
Yeah.
And you see, or a son or a daughter, but at a certain age, that child needs that fatherly love.
Yeah.
Where is that father? When they go outside there, they get deceived.
Yes.
With little things, with that love, because your daughter had never had a father figure who'd always told her, I love you.
Yes.
When they first hear that word, I love you, from a man, they tend to fall. And we come back blaming our kids that they're making mistakes.
Yes.
But we don't find the gaps, and we don't try to like cover those gaps in the right way. Like me, I always say, even if you have issues with your spouse, allow them see the kid.
Yes.
Allow them have that connection and that love with that child.
Yes.
It won't cost you anything.
Nothing.
Even if he won't provide or she won't provide. We also have single dads out there. Even if they will not provide, just let them spend that time with them. At least when they go outside there, they will not easily be deceived.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are going for a very quick break. We'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned for more.